Welcome. Today we're talking about traditions and what's their impact in our society. Let's begin.
Importance of the research of society in our lives. The importance of the research is that it allows us to get conclusions that can be applied to a determined type of group of people and gives us new light of knowledge about certain demographics. Aspects considered in the study of society. Number 1. The delimitation of the place or topic where we intend to do the research. Number 2. We also have to consider the group of people that are going to be involved. Number 3. We can also start using the aspects we are learning in this course, such as focus group, interviews, testimonies, etc. Number 4. And we can start using a certain method depending in what we want to achieve.
Steps the researcher should follow in the investigation.
In our case, we would use ethnographic research. Knowing this, the steps we need to follow are: number 1, determine a where. Number 2, determine a what. Number 3, start documenting and preparing for it. Number 4, determine a how. Number 5, start with our field investigation. Number 6, begin to get and complete the information with the one we start obtaining. Number 7, get our conclusions.
Aspects of the state that need to be studied.
Some of the techniques that we used to study the aspects about the state were the life history, that is the history about the state, some testimony from the people, the semi-structured interviews to the people, the focus groups, the participant observations, the field diary, some documents, and pictures and video about the traditions so we can know how it is and their characteristics and how is it composed.
Information about the chosen tradition.
The tradition originates when Casimiro Cárdenas wakes up after the killing and see that he has by his side the bodies of his neighbors and family. In that moment, he realizes that between his hands he has a cross, and he considers that he survived because of it. For that reason, he promises that every year when he's safe, he will celebrate each year the Fiesta de la Santa Cruz. Little after, Casimiro gets to Cozumel, and the next year he begins to fulfill his promise.
Techniques and steps.
To analyze a society's structure and how traditions in a way form of representing its beliefs and habits, we must apply the process of ethnographic research, which is divided into 7 steps, as well as using the techniques that are more adapted to the object of study, such as using key informants or enabling conversations. In the case of the tradition, it must be commonly adopted by the entire population or a big part of it that is living there, as well as having a cultural background into the area's history. So when the ethnographic research is being done, the researchers are able to indicate the traditions of purpose, impact, and main characteristics.
Our chosen tradition, Citral Fair.
The tradition we chose was the Cedral Fair. Its origin was started by Casimiro Cárdenas 150 years ago. He survived an attack and he attributes it to the fact that he always kept a crucifix on his hands. Because of this, he promised that every year he will make a festival to celebrate the life that was given to him by the Holy Cross. The place and date is Cozumel. It's celebrated the first 5 days of May. Its objective is to commemorate the Day of the Holy Cross, as well as the arrival of the 21 founding families that took refuge in 1848 during the Caste War. It's carried out by including fairs, traditional food, music, and competitions. Plus, you can find Mayan tradition on each day of its celebration. The characters involved is all the town. they all gather for those 5 days to celebrate together.
The tradition. The tradition is the transmission of customs or beliefs from generation to generation, or the fact of being passed on in this way. Traditions represent a critical piece of our culture. They help from the structure and the foundation of our families and our society. Tradition reinforces values such as freedom, faith, integrity, a good education, personal responsibility, a strong work ethic, and the value of the being selfless. Keeping traditions alive is important from teaching the next generation about a particular or shared past. Traditions help the teacher learning individuals to their family and place of origin, giving them a sense of security and continuity from the one year to the next. Often, this includes religious traditions. Traditions are rituals families engage in over and over. They lead a certain spirit that nurtures the family connection, giving us a sense of belonging and helping us celebrate generations of our family. More importantly, traditions create positive memories for our children.
Conclusions. We chose the Cedral Fair as our tradition because we wanted to choose one that is common, but at the same time, a lot of people haven't heard of it. This tradition is very interesting because Casimiro Cárdenas, the man who started it, began with this fair thanks to a promise of gratitude to his spiritual beliefs, and it was carried on by the citizens of the place where he traveled, meaning Cozumel. The importance of this event is spiritual, Catholic Church to be more specific. But nowadays, it's more commercial than anything. People from all over the world travels to Cozumel to be part of this fair. This shows us the importance of traditions for its own citizens and for other people. It's a main focus for tourists. That being said, what this tradition is telling us, what this is telling us, our research and everything, is that as this fair attracts tourists, this gives certain benefit to the citizens of this place, meaning Cozumel people, because, Cancun, Cozumel, and all these places survive thanks to tourists. So that's why it's a main importance thing. Well, not a main importance thing, but it's really important. Thanks for hearing us. Bye, teacher.